That's what I always say, isn't it, eh? I start talking for 5 minutes and get nowhere. Do you remember about mid-January I got these devil plants I got from the old property I've got down in Coburg, and I've taken these cuttings and I thought, oh, bugger it, I'll just stick some in. We lost one. Big whoop, it's gone, it didn't take. That's a little cutting, but that's 3 out of 4. So we had a good strike. So that's mid-January, 6 weeks, 7 weeks approximately, give or take. Look at that. Roots out the bottom. This is the devil plant. This is what I mean about it being so strong and capable and withstanding all these different climates that we have and weather patterns. And it's ideal as a rootstock. Use it as a rootstock to your eggplants, your tomatoes if you like. You can even try some cucumbers and capsicums. I've done it in the past. Not as successful as the tomatoes and eggplants, but you know, at the end of the day, having a tomato or eggplant grafted onto this for 5, I was going to say 7, let's say 5 years. If you succeed 5 years in Victoria, you're doing mighty well. South Australia, New South Wales, at least 7 to 8 years you can grow on there because the weathers are much more milder in winter, that is. So I'm going to transplant these out. I'm going to take them out. The hardest thing about this is you can't just pull them out because they're full of spikes. Okay, let's see how much, look at that. Look at the quality there. Look how clean. That's what you want to see in the roots. Nice, white, clean, healthy roots. This is a little blend of our cocoa peat and some seed raising mix, some leftover seed raising mix I had, folks. Now, I need to transplant these, whereas I've got some, that's a spring onion. I'm going to stick that in the garden after, put that aside. I've got the olive cuttings I've got there in the grape ones. They haven't taken yet. Well, they have, but they haven't grown like this. By comparison, they're a lot slower. So let me just shake the soil off in here. This can be done under running water too, folks. It makes it a little bit easier, but I haven't got a tap out here in the middle of the garden bed. And you can hear the crickets and the cicadas in the background. Well, it is nearly night time. That's why they're so noisy. Look at the healthy roots on those. We did these 6 weeks ago. These will grow like there's no tomorrow. I'll tell you, you got to keep these in the pot. You can't put these in the ground. If you put them in the ground, make sure you maintain them with pruning. Otherwise, they will take over. They can grow up to 6, 7 metres, 8 metres, even taller. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to mix in to the same, see the spikes on that? The same soil that I've got there. I'm going to put some extra cocoa pith, like that, to make up 3 pots, 3 little pots. Anyway, let's just put all that bag in there. I'm going to add, don't lose that little spring onion. That's tomorrow's salad. I'm going to add some of this superfood organic fertiliser as well, which has had some black grit add to it. Now, these are the trial periods, folks, so you can see how we've added the black grit on top. And if you get yours like that, you just need to mix it in a little bit, like that. And then I'm putting a handful, maybe 2 handfuls. After all, we are growing them in a pot with superfood and they haven't died yet, so I dare say it's pretty safe. All right, let's blend this up. So what I've got in here is our compost. I forgot to say I've got some of our green organic compost at the bottom of this. Then I had the seed raising with some cocoa peat that I've taken out of this pot, and I've topped it up with some extra cocoa. And you'll see the soil underneath, the compost I should say. There it is, that's the compost there. It's getting a bit dark now to see it properly, but anyway. So compost, cocoa peat. I had a little bit of seed raising, but not necessary. Superfood and black grit already in there, which is mixed in the superfood. We're going to grow a lot of these and make them available for pickup only from a couple of locations, folks. So people who want to try their grafting techniques, and I'll demonstrate later in the season. Now's a bit late for it because we're going into winter and there's not enough warm weather. Even though I say that, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to end up grafting one just for the sake of it. But these are still a little bit young. I can't... Oh, this is getting there. I need it to be pencil thickness to graft onto. That's not quite there. This is too hard, this wood here. That's just the base. That's going to be the root stock, I suppose, or the trunk. Well, this is where we're going to graft off and end up cutting this one off, or maybe graft on this one as well. So we're going to have a couple of options there. But for now, let's just pot them up and let them settle down in this little pot individually. Now, I'm going to lift this up gently and shake it like that. Tap it around. That's it. And just keep adding soil to top it up. That's enough for now. We'll do the other ones. when you're talking and trying to do the gardening at the same time and you know you can't do two things at once like me, you make mistakes. I did pot it up into the 8-inch pot. Again, actually want to put them in a 7-inch pot, slightly smaller because there's only one plant. And I'm going to lift it up like that because I don't want it sitting down at the bottom because it's going to push its roots right out of the bottom. So where the roots start from, which is just at the bottom of the stem, just here, they're just below the surface, that's it. Now I am going to press this down because this plant can handle it. And it is going to be top heavy. There we are. That's the size we want. Done. Next, and once we've done that, we just give it a little bit of a liquid feed with liquid gold, folks. You can put IK Butch in this as well, if you like. If you've got your own devil plant like that, it can well and truly handle a good fertilise. Oh, there you go. A good soaking like that. Building up a little nursery here, folks, we are. And you never know, one day you'll be able to come down and say hello to me and check out some of these wonderful plants. From me, Vasily, no, check out our website, vasilisgarden.com.